everyone, welcome back to a new episode of IELTS Speaking Saturdays. So let's get started with our brand new set of questions. Part 1. What do you do or what do you often do in the evenings? That's from one day to another, I don't really have a schedule. It's kind of all over the place, even with work. Now, usually 8 p.m., 9 p.m., they're kind of like peak hours for work. That's the time when most of my students, would like to have a lesson. So that usually tends to be when of course, that's only Monday to Friday, not, during the weekends. So that's when I'm working. If I don't have a lesson, then who knows? I mean, sometimes I'm cooking, sometimes I'm eating, sometimes I go out with my mom to shop for groceries. Sometimes we might just have a little get together. I mean, it's really so random. I mean, when someone asks me, "Hey, what's your schedule like?" I have no idea because I'm so random. Do you do the same thing every evening? No, that's exactly what I was saying. Not at all. I mean, from one day to another, I have no idea. I myself have no idea. I mean, like right now, I have a vague idea of what my day is going to be like, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, I have right now from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. I'll have German lessons. Now, I don't know if I'm going to just not, like take a nap. Maybe I'll take a nap at 7:30 p.m., but maybe I'll, get dinner. Maybe I'll go out with mom. I don't know. It could be. I'm very open to things. So, yeah. Do you prefer to spend your evenings with family or friends? Now, I'm not sure if this question is asking, would I prefer to go with family or with friends? Or if the question's asking, do I prefer, going with someone or just being alone? But in general, I mean, again, the thing with friends is, most of my friends are online. And by that, I mean that they're in different cities, different, countries, different continents. So, I mean, I enjoy spending time with mom. We love going grocery shopping. We love just going shopping elsewhere, sightseeing. So that depends. But evenings, again, I like being at home. I prefer being at home. I mean, I like going out, but I need to be home by like a reasonable time. Like, let's say, because again, traffic is so bad. And anytime I think, oh, I have to go somewhere, but then I think, oh my God, if I come back home, if I'm like on the highway or something, when it's like 7, 8, or 9 p.m., the traffic is just insane. And I hate being stuck in traffic. So I try to be home by like, 6, 7, or maximum 7:38. I just hate it. I try to avoid traffic as much as possible. So I prefer being alone at home, cozy over here in my chair, with my phone, my computer, my, comfortable soft light. I'm just a homebody, honestly. I enjoy being comfortable. Do you ever work or study in the evenings? Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, like I said, my schedule is so random. So I could be working, I could be studying, I could just be having fun, wasting my time on the internet, as we all do. I could be outside, maybe, once in a blue moon. It really just, there is no consistency in my life. It could be, I might have like I said, I might have a German lesson, Italian lesson, who knows? It's very different day to day. But yeah, I'm not like, some people are like, oh, I will not work after, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something like that. Or, some people have fixed schedules, and of course, that's a good thing for them. But I kind of just, throw caution to the wind. If my mood is, like if I feel like, oh, I might not have like a lesson to teach, but I might feel like, oh, let's make some content for YouTube. Or, I might feel like, oh, let me just, study a couple of, pages for whatever language I'm studying. So who knows? It's very random. Okay, let's try part 2. Describe a place you want to visit. Oh, for a short period. Oh, a short period. Okay. You should say where the place is, who will you go with, why do you want to go, and explain why you want to go for a short period. Now, I'm not sure what exactly is meant here by short period. Do you mean like a few days? Because to me, a short period is like a few days. But you mean like a few weeks, a few months? I don't think months is a short period. That doesn't make that doesn't make sense. So let's go with a few days. Gosh, anytime I think of traveling, honestly, I would hate to go anywhere just for a short period because first of all, I'm a tired person, okay? I go somewhere, I'm gonna need a few days just to relax. So I personally don't like the idea of short trips, but I do think that, just around, like there's this place, well, actually there's a few places around close to my city where lots of people just, take like a day trip or a little detour for a couple hours or maybe like 1 or 2 days. And I've always wanted to go. There's this place called Mahabaleshwar, and I don't know how far exactly. I think it's like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours by car. And the great thing is, this is actually a perfect time in winter because they grow strawberries there, and you get to, like, I have this colleague in my German class, and she went there just a few weeks ago, and they know, she said the strawberries there are really good. Like, they're, like fresh directly from the farms. So I've always wanted to do like agri-tourism, kind of like that, like getting to sample regions, like fresh fruit and veg and things like that. And it's always like, it's very, very green and kind of, I think it's a little bit mountainous as well. It's hilly, it's cool, it's unfortunately, I mean, obviously, like there's lots of people, tourists, at all times. So that's the one thing that I don't like. I don't like crowds. I don't really like, very, very touristy places. But that's, again, it's like 2 hours or 3 hours or something from here. So you could, like spend, there's not that much to do there, so I mean, you could go hiking and stuff, but it's risky and I don't like that. So, but I'd go with mom. I definitely go with mom. My only problem is, I'm kind of a scaredy cat. And, if they had just like a train or maybe a flight you could take, I'd be so much happier. Because traveling by road, the place is like, there's these pin curve roads and all these, cliffs, and you often hear of like cars and trucks, meeting with accidents. So I'm a very risk averse person, and like I could do it like right now. I could just book, like a cab and go. But that's not the problem. The problem is I'm scared, and it's what holds me back from making the actual trip. So yeah. Okay, let's try part three. Sorry about the gap. I had to cough. I don't know what's with my throat. Okay. So, why do some people prefer to travel abroad rather than in their own country? Okay, let me just get some water. That's actually very interesting. This is something that's like so me because I just don't find a lot of places in my own country. I mean, there's many, great places, but the problem is that they're just overrun with tourists. There's so many tourists, and I'm a person who likes peace and quiet. So a lot of people, especially people like me, they are really open to other cultures, and things like that. They really find that very interesting. So that's, I think, a major reason that it's more interesting to discover some places, people, areas, regions, lifestyles, cultures that are very, very different to your own. I think that's where the appeal lies, especially for me. Like, I would love to go someplace that's very different. Like, when I think of tourism and traveling, I don't want to go to places that are like the place that I'm going to, like I would love to go to some place like Japan, for example. It's like so different, it's like the language is different, the weather, the people look different, everything is different. It's so exotic, or maybe some place like, I don't know, some place that's like really exotic and unique, that would be like super high on my list, right? Not just the same old. So that's probably, I guess it depends on the kind of person that you are. Some people would actually prefer doing, intra-country travel because they just like, it's not for me, for somebody like me. It's not about just, the sights and everything, but I want an experience that's very different. And that's kind of why I'm learning all these different languages as well. I really like something that's different. I'm just a very I actually score very high on openness. And so for me, the idea that, you get to like meet people who are very different, be exposed to, for example, culture, lifestyle, food and drink that's very different, that really excites me. Do you think traveling to another country can change the way people think? Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, nowadays, of course, you have the internet. You can interact with people from all over the world without leaving the comfort of your home. But still, having that one on one experience, right? Can, like a lot of people have stereotypes, right? And if you were to talk to people, if you were to go to actual places, I mean, one of two things would happen. Either that stereotype would strengthen itself, and that can happen, or it would dispel itself, right? You might think, oh my God, I used to think that these people were like XYZ, but they're actually, like very nice, or maybe not very nice. So that can help to dispel rumors or maybe strength. Again, depends on the kind of experience you have, right? And sometimes we have these, preconceived notions about what a certain place or what a certain people are like. But then you actually go there or you actually meet these people and then you think, that's actually, I enjoyed that. Or maybe I didn't enjoy that. Again, the only way to really know is to discover it for yourself, right? A lot of people might hype up a certain place and you might go there and you might be like, this really did not live up to my expectations. So it depends, right? You really have to find out for yourself. Do you think it's a good idea for children to experience life in a foreign country? I think that's great. Now, I personally think that it would be great for a child to experience many different cultures and ways of life. It makes them more open-minded for sure. It makes them just generally more well-rounded. You are exposed to different ways of thinking, different ways of living. I think that is something that you need. Maybe like 40, 50 years ago, you didn't need to have those skills. But nowadays, of course, it doesn't matter where you live. The world is entirely globalized. So you need to be able to understand other people. Even if you live in your own country, you still need to be able to not just understand other people, but also interact with them. Because it's going to be important, not just like, let's say in school and college, but also in your career, also in your own personal life. I mean, people no longer just live in their own cities, right? So you might have friends, you might have even family members who might be from different parts of the world ultimately. So you need to be able to understand and also deal with people from all sorts of, backgrounds, all sorts. And living in a foreign country really is the best way to learn that. Do you think it's safe to travel? Oh, wow. That's what a hard hitter. I actually don't think it's safe to travel these days. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, it was different. Again, this is just my view. And, like I said, I'm a risk averse person. I'm kind of a scaredy cat. And I just think there's so many dangers. Like you constantly read about how, there was a Christmas market and, somebody got knifed or there was a van that ran into some, place. So I don't know. I'm kind of like a bit scared. I mean, maybe that's just, again, because, you actually have to do things and then you realize if something is, risky or not risky. But, I guess it also depends on where you're going. I mean, if you, go somewhere that's really, really popular, that of course carries risks. I mean, if you go someplace that's not so popular, then it's less likely that something could happen to you. You know, like for example, let's take pickpockets. Pickpockets are almost everywhere in every big city, and that's something I guess you just have to have your wits about you. It depends on where you're going, what kind of person you are, right? If you're careful or if you're careless, so that also, influences how safe it is to travel. Okay, and that's that. That's our test for today. Don't forget to click on like in case you like the video, and we have tons more content. So don't forget to check it all out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.